Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Planateen from Sandra Strait. Now, this is one that I discovered. I found it a long time ago, so in my mind it's an oldie but a goodie. But maybe you've never seen this one before. It's really neat. So I'm going to show you, of course, the way I have it laid out in the step out, but know that you could do this probably any angle, any direction. There is no up, there is no down. That is a typical Zentangle has that feature. So I just want you to know that going in. All right, I'm going to go ahead and use the entire tile, and we start off kind of with a zigzag. So I'm going to start in the middle because I like to. And so, come on, pan. Okay, so this is a little bit different zigzag in that. So here's my straight line, and I'm gonna I'm gonna zig to the left, like so, and then continue the line. It's just a zig. It's not a zigzag, or I guess you could just call it a zag, and not a zig. I don't know. Anyway, okay, then we're gonna continue. So we're not going back to the same, we're not continuing this line, so to speak. I'm just thinking that just sounded really bad. And, and these, oh, man, this pen, okay. These can go however, at whatever interval you want them. That's the word. It's Saturday today. That's the day that I am doing this recording. And so some days, it just takes a minute for the brain. All right, so I'm not gonna continue to adjust this, because there are no such things as mistakes in Zentangle, and as we finish, it'll all be fine. Okay, that's me talking to me. All right, so now I'm gonna finish to this side, and same thing. We're gonna do make these little jaunts. That's what I'm gonna call them. These little jaunts, and they don't have to alternate. Oh, they don't have to. Your lines don't have to be even straight. They can be wonky as you want them to be. Oh my gosh. All right. Sometimes it's just tangle. Stop talking and goofing around, Heather. All right, and now I'm going to finish this direction. No, I do this just to prove the point that there are no such thing as mistakes in Zentangle, and you do not need to be any kind of an artist to do Zentangle. All you have to do is kind of have a decent enough attitude to be. Let's see, I want to do this so you can see. Let's try it this way. Have a decent enough attitude to just go. Oh, you know what? Okay, well, whatevs, as they say these days, right? Okay, and then here I'm just gonna do this straight line here. Oh my goodness, I just like to laugh at myself. All right, and I hope that you were laughing with me, because laughter is, is good. All right, our next step is that we're going to, so where we have these little jaunts, we're going to do just a curved line. So right here from this corner, I'm just doing a little curved line here. And two things. One, you can either do them all and come back and color them in. That's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I separate it in the step out, just so that way it's easier to see what the step is, because I have had it before where sometimes if too many steps are, oh, you know what, I take that back. No, I did color it in. Forgive. Sometimes I separate things because if I'm having trouble seeing what the steps are, or if there are too many, because if there are too many are combined, even though it seems like it makes sense that you could, and then we'll go ahead and fill these in. Sometimes I just like to separate them. Just like I said, a lot of it's for my own purpose, but I figure, well, if I'm having trouble seeing that, somebody else might be having. Oh, I'm sorry for the shaky camera. Somebody else might also be having trouble seeing that, and so that's why I like to share. All right, and then yes, we're just filling these in. And this is another one of those tangles where, you just focus in on the steps at hand and not worrying about the outcome. And that's why I said it doesn't matter. They could be all even, they could be at varying lengths, it just really does not matter. And I also could be using a thicker pen to fill these in, but I'm not. Let me do that for these last few. I'm just getting into the zen of it. All right, here's my graphics. All right. Yeah, and sometimes, so these are kind of little, but sometimes just having this little extra thick tip is helpful. And see, when I was messing with this one right here, it's like, well, we're going to just color that in anyway, so it really doesn't matter. And sometimes, see, I catch myself doing this, and then I have to correct myself. It's like, don't mess with it until, unless, well, I guess it depends, but try to not mess with things that I'm like, oh, well, that's not exactly how I wanted it, to maybe afterwards. Because sometimes when you get all the way done, you find out you either can't find what it was that you didn't like, or it just gets it's blended in with the entire pattern, and it just gets lost, and then it doesn't matter, and that's a good thing. So this is about kind of freeing the mind, right? That's how we can use this as a meditation tool, or a mindfulness exercise by doing that. All right, now the next step, and actually it's like, oh, that kind of looks kind of cool, kind of like that. But the next step is, so from these, let's see. So they're kind of triangles. I mean, although this side should be kind of curved. Should be, could be, and and honestly, some of them are, some of them aren't. We'll see if it matters in a minute. So I'm taking from this corner and just going to draw a curved line to the next line. And again, and it doesn't matter where it lands. Just a nice curved line. See, and that one is landing right on top of that. This is at the end. And like I said, it does not matter. And I'm doing a little bit of the take off and land concept. So I am tracing over a little bit of this. And that's going off the page. Just because it adds some continuity instead of just going from the tip. And I forgot to mention it because it's one of those things that I think I just start naturally doing. And you can see how this is, kind of turning out neat. Now, you could stop here if you wanted to and add some shading. But in Sandra's step out, she included what would be hashing for, a bit of the shading. So we're going to add that in. It's one of those things where if you decided you didn't want to do that, I guess you wouldn't have to do that. Actually, I'm going to go in this way. No, let me try it the other way. Oh yeah, that's better. I like going out because then I can lift up the pen and you see how it tapers versus these ones that it doesn't. And I'm adding a little curve. So I'm adding the curve so that way it's sort of like, so it's kind of going with the curve that we have right here. And I'm also traveling it up, this little step, as it were, because that kind of helps to accentuate that. And however far apart you want them, it's however far apart you want them, and it's all good. And two, I don't, if you ended up not having that little curve, I don't know that it would necessarily matter. I like to add it because it adds to the curve of, what these are. So these make me, I didn't find it a description in, or in a story behind this tangle, but I kind of saw it as, either rounded, roof tiles, those terracotta roof tiles, or, some kind of pipes or something like that, short pipes, one stuck into the other, type of thing. I'm curious to know what you think this kind of looks like. And I suppose it also depends on the angle that you're holding it at. Because when I was looking at tangle patterns, hers was at a different angle. And so I was almost seeing bamboo, sort of. And I suppose that would just depend on how these little side things would come out. But anyway, that's just what I was thinking. But I'm curious to know what you think it kind of, what does it inspire in you? Because one of the things with Zentangle is that tangles are not, they're supposed to be non-representational. So it's not necessarily designed to look like something. They're usually all inspired by something. And I like it when they share that because it's kind of interesting. But at the same time, it doesn't matter. And, so like I said, I kind of see this as like something industrial, But anyway, curious to know what you all think. I think it's a really cool pattern. Let's see. If you turn it, it kind of takes on a little bit different look as you turn it. So you could have it go at whatever angle, that you might want. So it's just one of those really neat tangles. No up, no down. It's just a neat fill-in tangle. So in the description box, I have my step outs as well as anything else of interest that I'll find on this one, and ways to connect with me if you wish to. I have I do both free and paid classes, and on my website, if you I don't know if I have a direct link to that page, but if you go to my website and click on classes, then you will find all of the information that I have. I also do have a Tangle Addicts Club, so if you think that you want to take regular classes and you want to, take regular classes, it saves you a little money on there, as well as supports my efforts in doing the free classes that I do, as well as these videos. I would love to have your support. I have a founding member status at a reduced price for a period of time right now that is undetermined. I will put a notice out, and even on these videos, I will, when I have when I know I'm set, I will give it an additional month so I can notify people that might still want to sign up for that. And anyway, with that, if you enjoyed this, I hope that you will give me a thumbs up, as well as if you have not subscribed yet to the channel, would love to have you subscribe to the channel. And if you do, make sure to hit the notification bell so you can decide how you want to be notified, if you want to be notified. All right, with that, I wish you happy tangling.